Alrighty, welcome back. Last time, we got our butts handed to us by Xenos and friends. And now we're going to go to Doma to try to get the war started on two fronts so that Xenos has to split his attention. And to do that, we're here in Limsa. We gotta go find Alpha now, who is near the tavern, it seems. There he is. Tataru should be here any moment with our ship's captain. So we're going by sea after all. Is Milviv lending us our pick, the Crimson Fleet? Not exactly. You are right, in as much as we will be traveling by sea. Regrettably, it is simply not feasible for an airship to travel such a distance without impossibly large fuel reserves. To say nothing of the inevitability of running afoul of the Empire's aerial defenses. But then, it is equally infeasible to sail in a Eorzean Alliance vessel halfway around the world without the Empire taking notice. Which leaves us with only one other option. Ah, speak of the devil. Sorry to keep you waiting. May I present to you Captain Carvalane of the Kraken's Arms. The Kraken's Arms? Don't tell me you made a deal with pirates. Greetings and salutations, Scions. I take it from your comrade's tone that you no longer wish to proceed with our proposed arrangement? Not at all, Captain. Pray forgive my sister her outburst. She has ever been one to speak her mind. I, on the other hand, am the very soul of discretion, as many well-respected personages would attest, from the offices of the Admiral to the high houses of Ishgard. Ah, but where was I? Oh yes. Scions of the Seventh Dawn do indeed wish to employ your services. However, it is important that you are aware of certain extenuating circumstances. And intent on securing passage to the Far East, you came to us, knowing us to be the proud purveyors of said region's finest spices, which you steal from God-fearing merchants out on the high seas. Whatever privateering the Kraken's Arms may or may not engage in is strictly within the limits of the law, as set forth by our indefatigable Keeper of the Peace. More to the point, we are pragmatists. I see considerable risk in aiding your cause, and negligible profit. Well, I for one think the captain has a point. 5 seas can be extremely treacherous, and many a poor unfortunate soul has come to grief out there on the waves. Why, when we were in Ishgard, I heard the tragic tale of how the heir of House Durandare vanished at sea. Even now, nearly 20 years later, the poor count remains convinced that his son still lives, and would pay a sultan's ransom for news of his whereabouts. Truly a tragedy for the ages, and a testament to the misfortunes that may befall us should we act without due consideration. But so long as you are prepared to abide by the capricious whims of fate, I am willing to oblige you this once. That said, in light of the recent rebellion, I trust you understand that I cannot deliver you to Doma itself. I can take you only as far as Kugane and Hingashi. We will require time to procure sufficient provisions and make ready before departure. I humbly suggest you do the same. Yeah, he's an Ishgardian nobleman turned pirate. Suddenly, all those hours Tataru passed cavorting and capering at the Forgotten Night seem rather better spent, do they not? That said, I had intended to press the point more obliquely, and there was something disconcerting about the pleasure Tataru took in making Captain Carvalane squirm. Tales from the Far East. I say we should heed the captain's advice and attend to our own preparations, while they ready the vessel for departure. Tataru and I will procure the necessary supplies. Alice, I should be grateful if you would use the time to brief Orianger on recent developments. You may also wish to review the relevant safety procedures in the event of an emergency at sea. How very prudent of you. Very well. I shall go and speak with him. What of Asuka and Lise? I would like the two of you to return to Revenant's Toll and speak with our Doman allies. I fear we know too little of their homeland, and any information they can provide would be most welcome. When we have completed our respective tasks, we will reconvene here at the ferry docks. Agreed? Sounds like a plan. Let's go, Asuka. Alright, we'll go to Revenant's Toll. There's Lise. Well, here we are. We'll need to talk to lots of people, so I think we should split up. I'll ask around at the House of Splendors. You take the Rising Stones. I'll meet you here after. Got it? Yes. Anyone out here? Nope. Gotta go inside. Oh, there's Higiri. Greetings, Asuka. What brings you to the toll this day? What? You are for Doma? Heavens, you scions have shown us naught but kindness. But never in my wildest dreams did I imagine you would fight for our homeland. For 25 years we suffered under their tyranny, and then we spied an opportunity. The Emperor dead, Garlemald in chaos. It seemed the time was ripe. Beneath our Lord's banners we gathered and fought to reclaim our nation. But when Xenos arrived with the 12th Legion, it was over in an instant. Hozan? What is it, my friend? You look as though you have something to ask. That you go to join Yugiri and Gosetsu in the fight fills me with such joy. Ah, forgive my exuberance. You require information, yes? We of the Nagai clan have served Doma faithfully for generations. My ancestors held positions within Doma Castle, even. Now it is home to the Imperial Viceroy's witch and her host of men in Magitech. To think that what was once the shining symbol of our heritage and the seat of dear Lord Cayenne has become a den for Garlean dogs. Yes, to think. Ah, there you are. Walked right past you. You are truly planning to travel to Doma. I do not know what to say. Forgive me. I shall aid you to the best of my ability. Ours is a beautiful land, nestled on the eastern coast of Oathard. Along the banks of the One River, our nation thrived, proud and free, until the Garleans came 25 years ago. The river was our lifeblood. Free to travel and to fish. But travel was soon restricted, and now the river belongs to none. Back outside to talk to Lise. Wait, is she in here? No. Same exact spot. Ah, there you are. Learn anything interesting? The older Domans I spoke with tried to teach me all about Far Eastern customs and the importance of formality and politeness. I'd like to think Eorzeans can be just as stiff and stuffy as anyone, especially Ishgardians. But anyway, did you know they eat with sticks? It wasn't all that hard, actually, or at least that's what I thought until they told me I was holding it wrong. And then when I spoke with the younger Domans, they just rolled their eyes and told me it was all a load of stupid old... Wow, what you learned sounds a lot more useful. Unless someone invites us to dinner, of course. I hope they do. Not without incident. Right, no point waiting around here, is there? We should head back to Limsa. Elfin said to meet at the ferry docks, I think. Yes. And we're going to the Far East. Where is it? There we go. Costume change. Get pretty close. You're returned, Asuka. I trust you learned much from our Doman friends in Revenant's Toll. I'm eager to hear all. Though that can wait until we have left port. We will have time enough to talk on our journey to Gane. Our spice trading friends have completed their preparations. Assuming you have completed yours, you may inform the deckhand that we are ready to depart. Yes. Hello, deckhand. All set, lass. I'll see you to the ship if so. Yes, board the misery.
Twelve be praised. Full sure was I that I had come too late.
Urianger! Tell me you haven't come all this way just to see us off.
Nay, my lady. Ere you quit these shores for eastern climes, I wished to share some words of seeming import. Look ye where the sun doth rise. See crimson embers, darkening skies. Look ye where the sun doth fall. See azure lost amidst the squall.
Okay.
Well, that sounds suitably foreboding. Another one of your prophecies, I presume?
Of far eastern origin, aye. It is mine earnest hope that this ancient wisdom may serve to guide you on your journey. For what dangers lie in wait for you upon those distant shores are yet beyond my knowing.
A parting gift befitting your roundabout ways. Thank you.
I have more than words for you, my lady.
Huh?
It's beautiful. Is it for me?
Though undeniably powerful, your ethereal blade taxeth you greatly in the wielding. Not so this rapier, which shall serve you just as well against all but the most formidable foe.
Impressive. It feels as though it's attuned to my ether. I shall treasure it.
That was nice of Urianger.
Honored guests, say your farewells, for the moment of our parting draws nigh. A fair wind blows, and I mean to follow it.
It would seem our ship is set to sail. Pray give my regards to Thancred and the others. And take care.
sea. That is a big ship. It's like the Indiana Jones map.
A fine day, is it not? Fair winds and following seas. The Misery is enjoying herself. Nevertheless, it would not do for you to spend the entirety of our voyage above deck. Let me show you to your quarters.
Our quarters look like a sitting room.
Is it supposed to do that?
Not under normal circumstances.
Captain! You're needed on deck! Something queer's afoot. The winds died down, the waters went still, and all of a sudden, we were dragged off course.
Dragged? By what?
Can't rightly say, sir. But some of the lads are muttering about seeing things in the water. Things that shouldn't be there.
Oh, for the love of... If you will excuse me a moment. Actually, might I persuade you to join me? Loath though I am to admit it, I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. We'll come up there, see what's going on. Odd. Most odd. Well, do you have any idea what's going on? No. As the man said, despite the absence of wind and current, the Misery is somehow being pulled off course. Well, why not fire up the cerulean engines you have hidden below? An excellent suggestion based on knowledge you should not have. Alas, our engines appear to be malfunctioning for reasons that escape my engineers at present. I'm telling you, Captain, it's them things the lads saw. Things? I don't suppose I could convince you to attempt something more descriptive. An adjective, for example? Sea wolf superstitions and fairy tales, not more. But if you must know, the things which he is so reticent to name are the souls of deceased women, said to lure sailors to their deaths. Preposterous! Yes, indeed. If it is neither the sea nor the weather which is responsible, then it is probably a predatory entity of some sort, perhaps a siren or some such. I'm fairly certain Alisaie is being sarcastic. For all we know, oh yeah, she is. For all we know, it could be a fellow spice trader employing magics to seize and plunder passing vessels. Regardless, we have but one recourse: to let the current take us where it will and deal with whatever we find there. What a thoroughly pragmatic suggestion. Oh, I am beginning to like you, girl. I assure you the feeling is not mutual. Once we arrive at our destination, be it a vessel or an island or something else, Lisa and I will remain with the ship to defend it in case of attack. Oscar, I believe you would be the ideal choice to venture forth and deal with the cause of our troubles. and it is settled. I know not what awaits us, but it will rue the day it reeled us in. Alright. And this is the very last dungeon that I know I can solo. Because I've done it. Those don't look friendly. Come here, banshees. More. Come here. Select the enemy. Go. We're about to hit whatever it is we're going for. Some very not nice sea creatures. Island full of shipwrecks. Convenient timing for that ship to break in half and give us a way across. Take that. Onward. That thing glowing in the distance is probably important. Although, isn't it bad luck to kill those? doting on me. Oh, he looks friendly. Isle of the Dead. Sounds ominous. Got coffins for arms. Oh, it's raining now. Not sure what that is that's glowing with blue fire. Doesn't look pleasant. Oh. Sort of sea ghost. I got hit with the seduced status effect, which makes you run towards the thing that did it so that it can hit you. It hit me, it did. Her head's not attached. Doesn't seem healthy. So this boss has a couple of skills that, or attacks that make you either move forward or move away against your will, typically into those puddles that will do damage to you. It's usually not enough to, like, kill you, just enough to make the healers have to work a little harder. Oh. We turned off the big glowy tower. Too close. Well, so it was ghosts.
Thank the 12.
Everything here would appear to be in order. Good. Repairs should be completed by the time we return to the Misery, whereupon we shall resume our journey without further delay.
I swear, if I never hear another ghost story, it will be too soon.
Back to the map. I mean, we should have known, because there's a mermaid there on the map.
I remember the sea, the smell of the salt, and the crash of the waves as we drew closer to Kugane. The only port open to outsiders in Hingashi, across the Ruby Sea from Othard, from Doma.
Got a Garlean
All
embassy.
the colors of the rainbow, all the peoples of the world, all in one place. I wish you could have seen it.
Carvalane. Congratulations, you now stand in Kugane, western port of Hingashi. Regrettably, the only port in this nation open to foreign trade. Oh, and I do apologize for the unforeseen difficulties which befell us during our journey. Needless to say, your assistance in overcoming them is much appreciated. No? The man from Oldar. Glad though I am to have arrived, but remind you all that we are far from home, with limited resources at our disposal. Duly noted, brother. I shall take care not to enjoy myself. In any event, Doma is our final destination, and our first order of business should be to secure passage there. Captain Carvalane, I realize you pledged only to take us as far as Kugane, and I have no desire to change the terms of our agreement. I should, however, be interested to know how you would go about reaching Othard, were you in our position. At the risk of stating the obvious, you are in a port. Surely there is a kind and generous soul here who would aid you for the right price. You cannot be the first travelers seeking passage to Doma. The captain makes a good point. It is like that Yugiri and Gosetsu were forced to come here for the self-same reasons we were. They must have found a way to Othard, assuming they are not still in the city. Ere we seek passage, mayhap we should first seek our friends. Leave it to me, Alphino. Making friendly inquiries is my specialty. Lest you forget, I got plenty of practice in Ishgard. Captain Carvalane, could you direct us to the nearest tavern? Desperate for a drink, are we? You may find one in that large building just beyond the pier. Whether your journeys have come to an end or are about to begin, the Shiokaze hostelry is an ideal place to rest, relax, and reflect. Well, so they say. And with that, my dear scions, I bid you farewell. As soon as we have replenished our supplies, we must away. Ours was ever a fast-moving business. The spice trade, you mean? But of course, surely you did not think I traveled halfway around the world and delivered you to your destination solely out of the kindness of my heart. Perish the thought. Thank you, Captain, and may the navigator watch over and keep you. Right then, to the hostelry. After you. That is a big barrel of some sort of drink.
By the 12. I thought Ishgard remarkable, but this... We are certainly not in Eorzea anymore.
A tavern is a tavern, Alphino, here or anywhere else. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time to do what I do best.
Oh, 1,000 pardons, my lady. The signs of the 7th dawn, I presume. I hope your voyage was not too trying.
And you are?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me. Hancock of the East Aldenard Trading Company, at your service. On behalf of Chairman Lolorito, I bid you welcome to Kugani and invite you to take refreshments at our local offices.
Lolorito? I was aware his interests extended beyond the borders of Eorzea, but not so far as Kagane. Regardless, I am disinclined to accept the hospitality of grinning merchants, especially those who serve a master with whom we have such a difficult relationship.
My, such naked suspicion. I do hope that business with the Crystal Braves did not rob you of all faith in your fellow man. Or do you really think the chairman is plotting to drag you into another one of his grand schemes?
I beg your pardon? If you are trying to win my trust, you are failing quite spectacularly.
Oh dear, have I offended you? Once again, I must apologize. Too much time in the Far East, you see. One is compelled to talk in circles round everything here, and one finds oneself longing for the invigoratingly candid speech of the Uldan markets. Though I see now that this was neither the time nor the place to indulge said longing. Might I suggest that we continue this conversation at the company offices? Too many eyes and ears here, you understand. 'Twould be decidedly reckless to say any more.
If I may favor you with the invigorating candy you apparently crave, it would be decidedly reckless to follow a man I neither know nor trust. Give me one good reason why we should accept Lord Lolorito's invitation.
Now there's the young diplomat I was told to expect. Very well then, I shall explain. You understand that you are come to a most reclusive and secretive nation, yes? One whose borders are closed to foreign trade save at this single port. Then it should come as no surprise that a great many parties have vested interests here. Merchants like myself are a given, of course, but for every one of us, you may be certain there is also an agent of a foreign government. Many notable nations and empires have embassies here, you know, including, of course, the Garlean Empire, with whom you have such a difficult relationship.
To paraphrase, Kugani is teeming with Imperial spies, one or several of whom could now be listening to our every word.
Something to that effect, yes. Beneath this veneer of bustling trade, a war for supremacy is being waged between world powers, One might say we were standing on the front lines, just not in public.
I still have my doubts, but he may have a point. I say we accept his invitation for now.
Yeah. Don't want any Imperial spies finding out we're here to fight the Imperials. Okay, before we talk to him, let's go on a tour. Let's start by running to the top of the tower. Which lets you see out across Kugane. All of the sightseeing little bubbles here are exceptionally difficult to get to because they're all crazy jumping puzzles. Like this one right here in front of us. In order to land on that, you have to jump your way up and around that tower until you reach pretty darn high so that you have enough height that when you jump off of it, you can reach this. But if you don't land directly on it, you gotta go up there again. Keep going until you eventually do get it. Bit of a market type area, but not one that has shops that we can interact with. Just a nice big deck. In here, the changing room for the hot springs, where you can hang out and be warm. Which leads into the inn. Can't actually get too far up that back hill, just because of the way the explorable part is designed. This is the headquarters of a group of like samurai policemen here in town. You can see we're back in line with that tower with the tavern in it. There's a bit of a canal down the middle of town. That building that doesn't look like it matches architecturally. It tells you it's the start of the embassy section of town. Here's the main market. with vendors we actually can interact with and buy stuff from. That tower is has an airship landing on top, and underneath it, it has like normal shipbuilding stuff. Like warehouses here near the docks. Alright. The embassy district with a little park. There's your Garlean embassy right there with its Garlean soldiers. Alright. Now let's go back to Hancock. And you must be Oscar Hassenfeather, slayer of gods, rider of dragons, savior of Ishgard, stealer of pants, if some of the more puzzling rumors are to be believed. Uh-huh. I knew it. May I say what an honor and a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance, my lady. I just know you are going to you and I are going to get along famously. Now then, without further ado, allow me to escort you to the company offices. This being your first visit to our fair city, I shall make an effort to point out various landmarks along the way, if you would be so good as to follow me. Did I do it again? I ran around the town, doing a tour, just to be given a tour. Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. You are now standing in the Ten Conto. Loosely translated, the name means Spirit of Drifting Souls, which, as some of you may have deduced, makes reference to the Aetheryte which stands over yonder. The design is markedly different from those of Charlene, yet I trust its function is identical. A diplomat and a scholar, well, wonders never cease. Far Eastern Aetheryte technologies have a long and storied tradition, I assure you. This particular example was constructed by the Onishishu, a collective of skilled craftsmen who guard their ancestral techniques with the utmost secrecy. In short, you will find it no less reliable than its Western counterparts. Attune it, if you'd like. Where the streets are paved with koban. Beautiful though it may be, we cannot spend all day staring at the Aetheryte. Come, come, let us move along. The markets are next. This person, Ron Amigo, is part of the dancer story. We have arrived at the largest shopping district in Kugane, Kogane Dori. Kugane, as you are doubtless aware, is an ancient Hingan word for gold. So, in this prosperous port where golden fortunes are made, lesser fortunes, or kogane, are earned by the local merchants. It's all quite logical once you learn the language. Hehehe, Now you're beginning to speak my language. Oh ho, a kindred spirit. What a pleasure it is to meet a young lady who appreciates the value of hard-won coin. Hancock of the East Aldenard Trading Company. You are with clients today. Why, if it isn't Master Kaiten? Pray allow me to introduce to you my esteemed guests, but recently come from distant Eorzea. This kind and generous soul supervises all transactions here in Kogane Dore. Your sincerity is ever appreciated. As he says, I am Keiten of the Hakuuchi clan, and it is my honor to serve as overseer of these markets. As we receive many foreign visitors in Kogane, we accept all manner of currencies. Rest assured, your Eorzean guild are welcome here. I invite you to peruse our wares at your leisure. Cool. Arms, armor, foodstuffs, potables. Here you will find all of them and more. Further up. If we may pause here for a moment. This road leads to the Ijingai, the district in which Ijin, or foreigners, are permitted to reside. Would this also be where the foreign embassies are found, including that of a certain empire? Precisely. So you see, it would not be at all unusual to cross paths with one of our Garlean cousins here. With that in mind, I would encourage you to choose your words carefully. We would not want any physical altercations, after all, such spats being strictly forbidden. The Sekisegumi punish breaches of the peace quite severely. I have seen foreigners permanently exiled for a single violation. Though to be fair, this is not common. More often than not, they are executed on the spot. What? Cut down then and there? You're joking, right? Would that I were. But alas, these samurai are a humorless lot. Why, I recall one instance when a foreign merchant and his cups dared lay hands upon a Hingan aristocrat in front of a Sekisegumi. The samurai cut him in half with a single stroke. I don't even want to think about that. So, as you see, it would behoove you to behave. Failing that, we may be forced to part ways with one another. Or you with yourselves, in the manner of the late Legi Adelegi. Ha 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 ha. Oh, how I amuse myself. But we must carry on. I have yet to show you the Garlean consulate. Think you're real funny, don't you, Hancock? Ooh. There's steam coming up out of the streets. It's a nice touch. This, as you may have surmised, is the consulate of you-know-who. Mark the guards at the gate, and their uniforms. Are their uniforms not different from those you've seen in the West? Were you to travel far and wide, you would find that many such variations exist, often inspired by local designs. All of which goes to show that even a massive empire seeking to rule all of creation is not without its artisans. By the grace of Lord Lolorito. There is oh so much more I could speak of, the soothing waters of the onsen, the ephemeral delights of the pleasure district. But you are doubtless still weary from your long sea voyage. Let us retire to the company offices. Sounds like a plan. But before we go in, that is where we'll call this video. I will go in. Sorry, next time.